Hi students, welcome back. This is lesson number 2, but in the textbook it's lesson number 10, computer ethics and internet safety. First of all, what is meant by computer ethics? Ethics means it is rules. In computer, how to use it. We need to learn about how to use this computer. See here, computer ethics is the standards of moral conduct to be followed by all of us for using various computers. While using our computers, we need to follow some rules. That is called computer ethics. Ethics is also required to maintain system security. Ethics means it is also to maintain our system security. It is a set of moral principles that the behavior of group or individual. It regulates the use of computer. That means how to use the computer, how to behave while using the computer, what are the moral values we need to keep in our mind that comes under it. We must understand that unethical acts are always illegal and may cause harm to our security. That means sharing our information to stranger or sending money to some other persons, downloading unauthorized data from unauthorized websites. These all comes under the category. These all may cause to your system. Coming to the next, computer ethics deals with following points. For example, first one, accountability. That means justification. Justification means the action which we are doing that should be right or it should be a reasonable. Next, obligation. Obligation means it's nothing but safety. How safely we are using our system, how safely we are maintaining our data, that comes under into the obligation. Next one is responsibility. Responsibility means we need to be responsible. While using a system, we all should be responsible. Next one is liability. Legally responsible. We need to follow all are legally. That means if you are purchasing a shoes, a phone from any website, it should be a legal. That is called liability. Next one is code of conduct of computer ethics. What is code of conduct? Code of conduct means it is a set of rules we need to follow. Let's have a look what are the rules we need to follow in computer ethics. We must maintain the privacy and confidentiality of the data and the document maintained by us. We need to maintain our documents or records. All should be confidently and it should be privacy we need to maintain. For example, if you are maintaining a school question papers in your laptop, it should be confidential. It should not be exposed. Okay, we should not access data meant for other. That means suppose I am keeping a one file named called Faizan in class 8 in my desktop. It should not access to others. It should be accessed to only to Faizan only. We should not expose it to everyone. That's the meaning of we should not access the data meant for others. Next one is we must not use pirated software. For example, you might be knowing this one, hacking software. For example, operating systems. We should not use those pirated softwares. You might get the system get problem. Next one, we should not steal or use the work done by the somebody else. That means we should not steal the data. Suppose in the class A, one student I given work and second student also I given the work. Second student is performing well, so first student is not performing well. So he should not go and steal that data. That is also comes under into the ethics. We should not make changes data in any form without proper authorization. Suppose a teacher has given the question paper, we should not change ourselves. We should not change ourselves without any authorization. That's meaning. We must not harass to others using the internet. We should not fight while using the internet. We should not become more harsh while using the internet also. We must not publish unauthorized publication through internet. Suppose you are having one book that belongs to some authorized person and we should not publish same book with our name. So those are the guidelines we need to follow in computer ethics. Next, internet privacy. What is internet privacy? Internet privacy is the privacy that and security level of personal data published via internet. In other words, we can call it as online privacy. For example, we should not share our data to strangers. We should not publish our own data like photos in the internet because it may get misused. So we should not do. Next point, internet privacy is also cause of concern because we should need to take it as a point because most of the work we are doing in the internet only, like communication, gaming, business, and are done in the online only. So we should be careful while doing it. In real life, we do not share our personal information with strangers. For example, will you share your all the family details and everything to everyone? No, we will not share to stranger. So why should we share our information to the stranger in online? So same way, we should not do that business also with new persons in the online. They may steal your money, they may steal your identity, and they will misuse. So be careful. Nowadays, since internet is affordable and children are learned to handle it very soon, that makes it more than important reason for taking internet privacy as a prime matter. It should be concerned more. Why? Because all children also nowadays are using internet. Now why you are watching this video by using the internet, that means small children also using the internet. In this case, internet privacy should be more concerned. Hi students, welcome back again. In this lesson we are going to learn today about internet control, what is computer reliability, what is computer copyright, what is software piracy. Let's have a look. What is internet control? If you observe, nowadays day by day the users are increasing, those who are using internet. For example, in all over the world the internet users are getting increasing. So we need to, if all users are using at a time internet throughout the world, it should be controlled properly. For every info, like for every small information, they are searching for news like social networking sites, and personal use also. Everybody is depending on the internet. So internet control, it includes censorship and surveillance. Censorship means prohibition of any parts of books, films, news, etc. Suppose censorship means it should be prohibition. For example, I am posting one book, it should be my censorship only, it should be mine only, it should not be used by others. Like films are posting, it should be properly uploaded in the YouTube, and the right should be go to the producers only. And surveillance means close observation. This all data should be observed closely. That is called internet control. Coming to the next, it's computer reliability. Reliability means it's a trust in computer networking. How this computer reliability plays a major role. For example, you are using a Gmail. You are trying to send an email message to that one email ID, and that email ID is not existed. The email should not deliver to that person. If the email ID is not there, it should not deliver. It should be bounce back to our email. That much reliability means that much trust we are depending on the email providers. Reliability is a synonym for assurance. That means confident. For example, you are sending an email to school or your friends or relatives, to anyone. For example, once you send the email, that should be to go to that person only. It should not go to all the other person. That is called reliability. Synonym, that means confident. Reliability, simple term is it's confident. Moving to the next topic, it's a copyright. Copyright means you might be knowing, some of the students are knowing what is copyright. It's a legal concept. First of all, copyright is an exclusive right to given to the creator of the creative work. It's usually for a limited time. The creative work may be a literary, artistic, educational, or music form. For example, we are creating the videos we can take. These videos should be uploaded to the AGPS channel only. If anybody is using our channel, it's illegal. So we can claim the copyright. Copyright means it's ours, it's our own. If somebody is using your things, we'll tell that is mine, why are you using? That's like that. It's a copyright means it's a legal for legal proceeding we are using copyright. Coming to the next one is software piracy. Software piracy means is defined as illegal copying software that does not belongs to you in a manner that violates the copyright. An example of software piracy is when you download a copy of Microsoft Word from the file sharing website without paying for it. I'll make you understand better. Suppose you are downloading some games. I know it. Students are nowadays they are downloading some games from this one, and they are using cheating like pirated copy operating system. If you go to the operating system, for example, in the games, you all guys like PUBG. You are doing some tricks to get the Royal Plus. That is called software piracy. You are doing some tricks without paying. You are purchasing the royal pass cards, like that. That means software piracy. I know some students will get doubt, what is the difference between copyright and software piracy, sir? Copyright means if your work, suppose you are doing some video and you posted in the YouTube without your permission, the other person has been taken your video and posting is in one channel, that is called copyright. Software piracy means if you are downloading some software without purchasing it, it is called software piracy. So both are different, not same. Okay, keep it in mind. Hi students, welcome to our lesson number 10 and part 3. Today's topic is computer crime, computer security, what is hardware protection. Let's have a look. Yeah, what is computer crime? Computer crime is an act performed by a knowledgeable computer user, sometimes referred to as a hacker, that illegally browses or steals a company's or individual private information. That means a hacker, if a hacker is hacking the data, some other system data, that also comes into computer crime. In such cases, this person, the particular person or group of individuals may be malicious and destroy the computer or data files. They will access the system files through the hacking method and they will take the data or they will destroy the data. That is also comes into the computer crime. Let us have a look on examples of computer crimes. Improperly accessing a computer, system or network. Improperly accessing means without taking any permission, secretly using the other's computer or hacking the computers of others. That also comes into computer crimes. Next point, modifying, damaging, using, disclosing, copying or taking programs or data. That means somebody files, if we are modifying or deleting the files, or you are using the files, or disclosing means you are taking the personal, the individual data and telling to everyone. That is also comes into the computer crimes. Next point is introducing a virus or other contaminant into a computer system. That means I already told you, if anybody is creating a virus and sending that virus to other computers and destroying that system, that is also come into the computer crimes. Using a computer in scheme to defraud. That means we are all see, by using computer they are keeping some frauds or schemes. They are telling that we are giving iPhone for just forwarding this message in the WhatsApp group. That is also the computer scheme. Interfering with someone's else computer access or use. That means you are going and using somebody else's system without their permission. That is also a computer crime. Next, falsifying email source information. This is also best example. In our emails we can see, click here, you win the lottery. That is also a false emails. Stealing information service from a provider. That means any provider that like Wi-Fi access. Stealing information means provider, we are having the Wi-Fi. If anybody hacks the Wi-Fi password, that is also come into the computer crime. So be careful. Next one, computer security. What is meant by computer security? Computer security is also known as cyber security or IT security. IT means information technology security. It is the protection of systems from theft or damage to the hardware, the software and the information on them, as well as from misdirection of the services they provide. That is nothing but computer security means protecting these kind of activities, protecting our system or computer from these kind of activity. That is called computer security. You can see here hijacker or dialer, backdoor, browser helper object, virus or worm, spyware, trojan, adware or malware, malicious software, email worms. These are all, you are keeping your system from these entire. That is called computer security. So coming to the last topic, it's hardware protection. However, hardware is protecting our computer parts and data. Let's have a look. Protect against power disturbances. That means, see, when you are using a system, you are doing some work, suddenly power disturbance came, the work has been not saved. When you again power come back, the data will be not there. So in that cases we can use a UPS so to protect our data. Backup regularly, we need to take backup of our data regularly. Why? Because anything can happen. A virus may come, enters into your system, and it may steals your data, so we cannot get it back. So in that cases, we can back up our data regularly. Invest in antivirus and spyware protection. You always purchase a new antivirus disks, so it will helps you to fight with virus. Protect critical files and application. That means very important files, emergency applications. That means MS Word is an emergency important application. Files, data files, school files, that should be always in the protect with the password protect. Properly shut down your system. You need to shut down your systems properly. Don't use strangers pen drives. This is the main one. If your friend is giving, not friend, if your anyone unknown person is giving pen drive and telling that copy this data to this file, to this folder, and it is simply say no, how can I? So because this all will helps you in hardware protection. Hi students, welcome to lesson 10 part 4. Today we are going to learn about internet safety rules and internet chat room safety tips. Let's have a look. Internet safety rules. To get more benefits from internet, we should avoid some risk. So we need to follow below steps. We should never share our names, school, age, phone number and addresses to anyone in online. Why? Because if you share all the details, it may lead to misuse by someone. So that's why we should not share our personal information. We should never send pictures to strangers. Why? Because if you send any pictures to unknown persons, they may misuse, like morphing, they are editing your pictures. So we should be careful while sending a pictures to strangers. We should always keep your password private except to your parents. Keep strong password. It should contain numbers, alphabetics and symbols. We should not disclose the password to anyone. If you share the password to everyone, then they may steal your data. Next, be careful while what you are downloading. Suppose if you are using Facebook or using Gmail, suddenly some messages will appears in front of you the screen like this. Download now, upgraded software. Please click here to download. Don't download those kind of messages. Next one, be careful what you post in social media. Why? Because if you are posting something news or something post, once you posted in the social media means it will be a public. So be careful while posting into the public platforms. You should be much careful. Let us have few more concepts, like let us see few more, like screen name. Screen name should be always different. While creating your screen name, do not include personal information like your last name or date of birth. Online friends. Do not agree to meet any online friend unless you have your parents' permission. Unfortunately, sometimes people pretend to be people they aren't. Remember that not everything you read online is true. Online ads. You need to be much careful. Why? Because don't buy anything online without talking to your parents first. Some ads may try to trick you by offering free things or telling you that you have won something as the way of collecting your personal information. Visit only age appropriate sites. Next topic, internet chat room safety tips. What are these chat rooms? Chat room means what? It is an area on internet or other computer network where users can communicate, typically one decided to a particular topic. Like you are seeing groups, WhatsApp groups, you know that, like that. Why these chat rooms are used for? The primary use of chat room is used to share information via text with a group of other users. Generally speaking, the ability to converse with multiple people in a same conversation differentiates chat rooms from instant messaging programs, which are more typically designed for one-to-one communication. How we should behave in the chat room? Let us have some more safety tips. Staying safe in chat rooms. You must tell your parents if you are planning to use chat rooms. Use a nickname. Don't use your real name. Never give out your personal details, so it may lead to data theft. Don't send your picture to anyone. Don't open attachments from anyone. Stay in public chat room. Don't meet up in real life on your own. If you are going to meet somebody who are talking in the chat rooms, you need to take some guardian or your parents. You should not go your own. These are the examples. You can see the pictures here. You should always tell to your parents or guardians or sisters or brothers. Don't let anyone else define your worth. Nobody should ever see your pictures and nobody should know about your money details and your bank details. Do not post your personal information in chat rooms. And you can see here, these kind of attachments will be placed in the chat rooms. We should not save that kind of attachments in our system. It may lead to virus. Be careful. Hi students, welcome to lesson number 10, Computer Ethics and Internet Safety, part 5. Today's topics are online predator, what is meant by phishing, what is cyberbullying. Let's have a look. Internet is also offers new risks. What are these risks? Online predator, second one is phishing, third one is cyberbullying. What is online predator? Online predators are individuals who commit child sexual abuse that begins or takes place on internet. What do online predators do? Online predators try to gradually seduce their targets through attention, affection, kindness and even gifts, and often devote considerable time, money and energy to this effort. They are aware of the latest music and hobbies like to interest kids. They listen to and sympathize with kids' problem. Online predators will try to do these kind of activities, showing some huge amount to the children and try to make you interest towards them. Like most of the girls are getting problems with these online predators. They are showing some money, phones, gifts. So be careful with the online predators. Next, then how can we deal with an online predators? Avoid using suggestive screen names or photos. These can result in unwanted attention from online predators. So we should be avoid while using screen names. Screen names means our own names while displaying name. So don't post your personal photos. If someone is flattering you online, you should be wary. Almost many people online are genuinely nice. Predators may use flattery to try to start a relationship with a teen. Flattery means flirting. So I think you might be knowing this flirting meaning. This doesn't mean you need to be suspicious of everyone, but you should be careful while talking with strangers. Don't talk to anyone who wants to get too personal. If anybody is talking to personal things in your life, you should end the conversation. Once you get pulled into the conversation, it may be more difficult to stop. Keep in mind that people are not always who they say they are. Predators may pretend to be children or teenagers to talk to kids online. So they may act like children or teenagers. So be careful while talking with strangers. They may use fake profiles also to attract you. Never arrange to meet with someone you met online. I already told you we should not meet the strangers who met you, who are talking with you online. You should not meet outside. Even if the person seems nice, this can be dangerous. Tell a parent or trusted adult if you encountered a problem. If you are facing some problem like this, you need to tell to your parents or trusted ones. You should also have save any emails or other communication because they may be needed as evidence. So while talking with strangers, you need to save their emails or other communication. Okay. Our next topic is what is phishing. Phishing is the fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information such as usernames, passwords, and credit card details by discussing oneself as a trustworthy entity in an electronic communication. What are the examples of phishing? Phishing an email, phishing the website. That means if anybody is phishing means try to steal your personal information from the online source. That is called phishing. Next one is cyberbullying. What is bullying? I think most of the students are knowing what is bullying. The use of electronic communication to bully a person, typically by sending messages of an intimidating or threatening nature. Those who are having threatening nature, that is called bullying. Then what is the cause and effect by cyberbullying? Bullying, no matter whether it is traditional bullying or cyberbullying, causes significant emotional and psychological distress. In fact, just like an other victim of bullying, cyberbullied kids experience anxiety, fear, depression. You can see here, these are the examples of cyberbullying. bullying. Making someone you are loser, you are ugly, you are fat, you have no friends. These are all parts into bullying. What are the effects? You already knows: depression, illness, humiliation, isolation, anger. These are all effects of cyber bullying. So be careful, students. Hi students, welcome back. Today we are going to learn your final topic of this chapter, that is what are the good rules for screen names and passwords, and till now what we have discussed, that recap. Let us have a look. Okay, what are the good rules for screen names and passwords? See, before keeping your password, we need to have some rules. Let us have what are the rules. Make sure kids come up with strong password and never share them. If kids need to write down password to remember them, consider write down password hints and store any written down passwords or hints in super secret place away from the computer. Consider using a password manager such as LastPass, which keeps all your passwords in one place. LastPass is an application type where we can keep our passwords secretly and separately in one place. So, students, today if you are going to keep one good password, then you need to make sure that it should be remember. If you forgot that password, you are unable to use your account again. So you can later on you can do some forgot password, and it takes time. So better to remember the password. So write down that password in one paper or in any one place and keep away from the computer, so nobody knows. If you write any hints, for example, I am writing AGPS is my password. If I keep A as hint, then I can recognize, okay, A means AGPS. So like that, but don't give this much easy hints. So you need to keep some hints while keeping the password. So next one, what are the password tips to share with kids? Make password 8 or more characters long. Longer passwords are harder to crack than shorter ones. If you keep 1, 2, 3, 4, it is very easy to crack, easy to identify. If you keep more than 8 characters, it is very hard to crack the password. Try not to use dictionary words as your password. That means very simple words. Dictionary words means very easy words. Like nonsense words are very better in this case. So try to use some nonsense words as your password. In the password, we must include the letters, numbers, symbols. These makes it harder to guess your passwords. So if you combine the all letters, numbers and symbols, it is very difficult to crack your password. Change your password at least every 6 months. This way, even if someone does guess a password, he or she won't be able to get your account for long. If anybody knows your password, they can access only for 6 months. If you change again every 6 months, so they might be not knowing new password. So try to use new passwords every time. Don't use your nickname or phone number or address as your password. Never keep your nickname or phone number as your password. Give your password to your parent or guardian. They will help you to remember it if you forgot it. If you are having some problem as remembering the password, so you better to give your parents. They will remember it, or your guardian. Okay. Sharing your password with your friends is not good idea. Even if you trust them, they might unintentionally do something that puts you or your information at risk. So be careful. Create a password that unique but memorable. So if you keep some number, 10 to 15 digits number, but it should be unique. Most important thing is you need to memorable. You need to always memorize that number, whatever the password you are keeping. So next one, screen name tips to share with kids. What are the screen names? Screen names means I already told you, it is like username or user ID type. So you try to avoid your real name. Keep your some nicknames or those kind of names. Skip personal details, no ages, addresses or jersey numbers. These are the examples. Next one, consider a screen name effect on others. So make sure it's readable and inoffensive. It should not be offensive word language. So try to keep your some unique name as a screen name. Keep it clean. Avoid bad words. What can attract the word kind of attention. So don't keep any nonsense words for the screen name. So it should be clean and neat. Okay students, let's have quick recap. We have learned about already computer ethics, internet privacy, internet control, computer reliability, copyright, software piracy, computer crime, computer security, what is hardware protection, internet safety rules, internet chat room and safety tips, online predator, phishing, cyberbullying, and today's topic good rules for screen names and password. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. So meet you in the next class. Till then, take care.